Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and today's video was supposed to be a review of the first 3 episodes of The Boys, but I could not finish that garbage. Holy crap, it was awful. It got far more political than the last season was, far more antagonistic, and far less subtle. But we're not here to talk about The Boys. We're here to talk about someone else entirely who is not being subtle whatsoever, and that is The Guardian. Again, just misinterpreting fans' love of a certain movie as they did with The Northman, reappropriating it for whatever political narrative that they can make out of it. And so we've got this article here from The Guardian saying, no, Top Gun Maverick's success isn't down to being pro-American and anti-woke. Now, of course, that's not at the core of it, but it's a big part of it because that's so different than what the majority of Hollywood offers fans these days. Most Hollywood movies are incredibly woke, incredibly anti-American, so this movie came as a breath of fresh air. Now, the more important thing is the good writing, the respecting of the legacy characters, and just being a very good movie. But to discredit the anti-woke positivity that surrounded this movie is incredibly disingenuous, and that's from all sides of the political aisle. This isn't about right-wingers, like they say in the subtitle. It's about so much more than that, and a lot of people are upset with it. I'm not a right-winger, I'm not a Republican, but I'm just as fed up with anti-woke as so much of the world is today, so much of America. We're just sick of seeing wokeness in our movies. I equate it to Christian movies. Even Christians, most of them hate Christian movies because they're so overblown and so preachy, and they don't worry about good writing or anything else. It's just the message, nothing else. It doesn't matter whether or not you agree with what people are saying in these progressive movies, in these Christian movies, or whatever message first movies you watch. If it's not done well and not done with talent and done from a story first perspective, people are going to reject it even if they agree with you. And that's what Hollywood is finding out. But Access Media and places like The Guardian, mainstream media, are not willing to accept that. They're just like, oh, it's just far-right extremists. No, there's plenty of people on the left, plenty of people who don't fit into the political spectrum of left versus right that don't like wokeness. People who agree with wokeness and some that don't. It's not that simple of hating right-wingers. But we're going to react to this article together and see how much worse it can actually get. So yeah, the subtitle, right-wing pundits have tried to claim the sequel's box office success as their success, but there are enough examples to show that isn't the case. I haven't heard of anyone doing that from a right-wing perspective, and I wouldn't really blame them if they would because they are the primary anti-woke individuals, and that's fine. But yeah, I haven't seen anything untoward, and I doubt that they're going to provide references, but let's see if they have any references beyond just general, ooh, Republicans. Top Gun Maverick is poised to continue its epic box office run in the weekend. Yep, it's made a godless amount of money, and I'm so happy for it. It deserves it. It's just an incredible movie. Check out my review, which will be linked above. And if you read the analysis of certain right-leaning pundits, Top Gun Maverick's triumph is their triumph. I don't see anyone trying to appropriate it. I think that's a misinterpretation of what they're trying to say, which wouldn't surprise me coming from the Guardian. And a rebuke of woke culture. Yes, I think it is because of that message from Tom Cruise at the beginning of the movie in the theater was very much, hey, we care about fans. And woke movies and woke creators don't care about the fans. They constantly tell you that. They're constantly, we don't care about the fans. We're going to give the fans what they need, not what they want. And so him saying, hey, we made this for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for coming out to the big screen. That's anti-woke, whether or not these people are willing to admit it, like The Guardian. So yeah, it is a rebuke of woke culture because it puts fans first and puts the story first. I know, a crazy concept for a creator. By which is meant movies and TV shows that do not exclusively feature white men in their leading roles. No, that is not what anti-woke culture means. Fucking hell, woke culture means. That is a complete misunderstanding of it. It's where the politics come before the story, and that could be in an all-white cast, that can come from an all-black cast. The cast doesn't matter. So just trying to say, oh, it's about racism is a complete misunderstanding of the criticism of woke culture. So yeah, Guardian's already starting off strong with being very disingenuous about the people that they're criticizing. No, it's not. There's plenty of woke movies that have white main characters and primarily white cast. That's not what this is about. It's about the message. And there's plenty of non-white movies and television shows that aren't woke. It's crazy, right? It's almost as if it's more nuanced than, ooh, this is about the white people. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's too much for The Guardian to think through and to realize. And it goes on here, it is true and said that Top Gun Maverick does not go out of its way to celebrate inclusivity and diversity, and sometimes claw in corporate way most closely associated with various Disney's properties. Yes, that is a good point. It was a diverse movie. There was diversity in the movie, but the movie didn't care because it was about the story first. And that's all we've been asking for. We can have as much diversity as we want and as much diversity as the studios want to put in, as long as the writing and the characters come first and that there aren't political rules about how you write certain characters based on their identity. And yeah, so Top Gun Maverick doesn't fit into that category, and Disney is very much known for, oh, we're the first gay character in Top Gun. I'm pretty sure there was a gay character. They didn't explicitly say it, but it just doesn't matter. It's not a wholly romantic movie anyway, so it's about the planes. The planes are what's important, and the movie focused on that. So, yeah, Disney will continue to assign similar designations to minor or desexualized characters for years to come. Yeah, Disney's not going to change for any time soon. Outlets like the Daily Wire, and the Daily Wire's review was actually pretty good and had nothing to do with, oh, Republicans are winning. Fucking hell. Misappropriating that. And their lockstep followers at Fox News, fucking hell, have described the release of Top Gun Maverick as both a rare occurrence and a rare win for Hollywood, is both absurd and telling. Yes, and that's true. It's winning because it's breaking the mold. Not because it's right-wing or anything like that. That's insane. It's not right-wing. It's just a movie. It's not having any political leading, and that's what we like, is that it's politically neutral because it's not about politics. It's about flying planes. It's that simple. Why is that so complicated for things like The Guardian and most of Hollywood? Of course, people like, I don't know who that is, need to emphasize the traditional white... That's not the point. That's not what these people are trying to say. Nature of Top Gun Maverick, it's the very best interest... Okay. And that real Americans won't stand for it. Oh, God, they're really delving into the right-wing or racist. That's what this whole article about. Of course, there are no shortage of movies boasting either white men. There were diverse characters in Spider-Man. And, you know, the Everything Everywhere All at Once was an incredible movie that I loved. And there was one white person that I know in it, and she was a very small role. So what? Story comes first. And so they're just like, oh yeah, it didn't make money, so I'm a racist. Holy fuck. The other words, Top Gun 2 is studiously apolitical, and that's what we're loving about it. That's not a bad thing in the ways that right-wingers love. I'm not a right-winger, and I love that. I just want apolitical. Why are they acting like that's a big deal and a signal for the alt-right? Because it allows them to claim just plain folks victory where white male military dominance have no social political dimension. It doesn't need to. Not every movie needs to have social political dimension. Some, it makes sense for. Most, it doesn't. Default should be apolitical. Why is that such a big deal? Jesus Christ. They're the default, the normal thing. Please to keep politics out of movies has an implicit definition of politics that includes racial concept like non-white actors and more than one woman. Some left-wingers inadvertently play into this too. When we detect the insidious conservative agenda in movies with ideology and provocative ambiguities. Oh, I'm not touching that because that is some bullshit. Oh, so now they're blaming leftists who are okay with this movie. Jesus Christ. Moreover, right-wingers misread the real unity behind Top Gun Maverick, which is far stranger. For at least a little while longer, the United States is one nation under Cruz. Wow, that's a weird way to wrap it up. So yeah, completely disingenuous, trying to make a political argument about this movie that we don't want to be there. That's why people that are anti-woke are loving this movie, because it's non-political. That should be the default of Hollywood. They're meant to entertain, maybe to make us think a little bit, but politically neutral should be the default. And so they attacking fans for liking that, completely disingenuous, trying to make this straw man argument about right-wingers and the alt-right. It's not what it's about, and there's plenty of people that they're talking about calling right-wingers who are, in fact, not right-wingers. But that is a concept too difficult for The Guardian to understand, and it's amazing that this was able to get through editorial and get published, because I see it getting thoroughly destroyed, because this is pure and utter nonsense. A movie can just be a good movie sometimes. You don't need to be like, oh, man, the people like it because it's straight like men, and that's bad. No, Tom Cruise could have been a black actor from the 80s. It's fine. It's a good story. That, at the end of the day, is the most important thing, and it's apolitical. Those two combined made one of the greatest movies from the last few years. Shocking, I know, right? So, yeah, Guardian being the Guardian, filling out their quota of nonsense articles for the month, it looks like. And I'm not surprised. I hope Top Gun keeps killing it at the box office and goes to heights not before dreamt of by Tom Cruise. And it's incredible to see that a movie like this is able to come out these days. And these strawman arguments won't stop people from realizing what's going on in Hollywood and stop the normies from waking up. And it's just an incredible thing to see, and I'm here for it. And I'd love to see them spurg out like this. And it's a sign that we're making a difference, that we're heading towards apolitical, because they're freaking out so much about an apolitical movie making money. And it's incredible to see. I'm so happy that this is happening. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.